How are you?
Hi, I'm fine.
You know, I knew Mike pretty well. We've been pretty good friends. I don't think I ever met Bill at all. And they weren't that far apart in age, were they?
No, they were about 4 years apart. Before I say anything, Bill's sister Sharon
Oh, they're Sharon.
is back here.
Okay.
Her
Hey.
husband, Greg, and a nephew, Mark.
Okay.
And Bill's wife, Katie, Bill passed away last August, and his wife's been out of town all summer. They had a cabin in Michigan where he played college ball, and she was back there trying to complete that because Bill was in the process of building that himself.
You know, when you read about Bill, and he was just, they say that like the best high school football player ever come out of Tucson.
Well, yeah, if I remember correctly, Tucson's Daily Star rated him the fourth or fifth best player in the history of high school athletes coming out. And so he's been in the Tucson High Hall of Fame and was quite an athlete. He also wrestled.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He was all-state wrestler, all-state football player.
all-state wrestler, all-state football player. In fact, when he was recruited out of high school his senior year, Duffy Doherty from Michigan State and Dan Devine from Nebraska each came in, flew into town, and recruited Bill. And Coach Art Acosta, who is also in the Hall of Fame, was a teacher at Tucson High, and he wanted Bill to go to Michigan State because that's where he played ball. And so Art helped shed the way there for Bill. And actually, Michigan State was out of football scholarships. So he ended up with a wrestling scholarship. And he wrestled at Michigan State. One of the few athletes to play two sports, major sports in college.
I realized, he got hurt when he was playing, but he kept playing. He played almost every year there, didn't he? He was on the North-South games like that.
Yeah, he played through his senior year. He tore up an ankle during the wrestling season, his freshman year, but to continue to play, and then later in his football career, tore up a knee, and really at that time it was so bad he had to pass up the opportunity to go on and play pro ball.
But he was, how did Michigan State, Art Acosta got in last year. He went to Michigan State.
Right.
Was there some kind of coach in town that was familiar with Michigan State? Because, two guys in the same high school. And back then, a lot of people didn't go to the Big Ten out of Tucson.
No, that's what was unique about Bill. He was a high school All-American, again, two-time state wrestling champion, offensively and defensively All-State. And both teams, our 65 team and the 66 team, that Bill was on both of them. They won high school championships. And so I don't know exactly how Nebraska found out about him, but Coach Acosta helped make Michigan State aware of him. And we had a great head coach, John Malamo. And then we also had Ollie Mayfield helping us out. He was our freshman coach. And we had some good coaches there, and I think that helped in Bill's recruiting.
So then he got into coaching, then high school coaching here in Tucson.
Yeah, he did, and he went to Tucson High. He was, and I just heard this story. He taught auto mechanics. That was in the days when they had vocational education. And his sister Sharon just told me, she's younger than Bill, he was her teacher in auto mechanics. So I said, well, how did you do? And she said, well, I had to work really hard, but he passed me. So, but yeah, no, and then he also, he taught at Pueblo a little bit and was an assistant coach there, but he came to Tucson High and he worked with Ollie Mayfield. And I remember Bill telling the story about getting after a player one time, and Ollie pulled him aside and said, just remember, when you're after or talking to a kid, be louder when you praise him than you are when you're scolding him. And so that's kind of something that Bill took forward in his coaching career. And back in the days when he was coaching at Tucson High, the enrollment dropped lower than it had ever before. And he was actually pulling kids out of the hallway. Hey, you're big enough to play. I need you to play football. We don't have enough players. And one of his most famous players, Ozzie Lewis, who ended up playing 3 years at Oregon and now coaches at San Diego State, Bill would pick him up in the morning, make sure he had his homework done, take him to school, and just stay on top of him. And there were other players that he made sure if you didn't have lunch money, he'd take it out of his pocket and he made sure. So he was a real players kind of coach.
They say he was really a true Badger.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah, Will Kramer can attest to that. Yeah, he read, red and white. That was Bill Dawson. And he is, as a person, besides being a great coach and working with his players, but he was a quiet individual without equipment on. But you put him on an athletic field and put a uniform on him, he turned into a totally different person and gained a lot of respect because of that.
Were there any like wrestling matches at the house with Bill and?
I don't know. We'd have to ask Sharon about that. Sharon, she's shaking her head yes, you know. And I know Mike also wrestled at Tucson High too. So they were both exceptional athletes, and I think it's a real honor to have two people from the same family to have this achievement.
Thank you.
Okay.